Hi, my name is Lulu and I'm trying to do a cooking show today. We'll see how it goes. We used to have a salsa business in town in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It was called Lulu's Big Hair Salsa, and it was about, oh man, when did I start that? 20 something years ago. And we had it all over Sioux Falls, and it was a really fun business. And you know, then you have to go to work and actually make money. So I stopped doing that, and sometimes I do it on the side for friends and family. But so we were just talking one day how I love to cook, I love to create, I love to come up with new recipes, and my family really enjoys it too because they get to eat all of it. But we were thinking, what can we do? What can we do to share this? So we came up with trying to put together a cooking show. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to put together one of their favorites. They love spaghetti. So this is going to be my really easy recipe. I've been doing that for years, maybe tweaking it a little bit here and there, but we're going to try that tonight. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. It's stuff that you can take right out of your pantry and your freezer. And we all know we're trying to cut down on going to the grocery store as much as we can. So I feel pretty good about you having most everything in the recipe. And if you don't have it, don't sweat it. Just, you know, you can add a little spice or herbs and it'll be just fine. So, all right, we'll get started. Okay, so first of all, you have to put the hair up. That's a disaster. If you have a company that is ever named Lulu's Big Hair Salsa, you never want anybody to find hair. And my family, for sure, never wants to do that. So you gotta get your hair back, and then you can get to work. So I've already thawed some ground beef. We eat a lot, so you might wanna tune it down if you're not gonna eat that much. But I thawed 4 pounds of ground beef, and I think it's probably 90%. It's pretty lean. So I've got that over on the stove, and I'm gonna start chopping up some sweet onion and some garlic, and we'll throw that in and we'll start sauteing that, okay? Be so careful when you're using these sharp knives, and you wanna make sure that your knives are sharp, otherwise you're working too hard. So I just kind of discard what I don't use. And somebody told me a long time ago to make sure that you hold your vegetables like a claw when you're slicing, and that way you won't, hopefully, cut yourself. So I'm going to do that carefully. Just chop these up. Okay. And then go with the dice. And before I start the ground beef, I'm just going to chop up my vegetables first because I want them to evenly cook. So we're going to throw that in our pan and then move on to next. All right. Now you can use like really fresh garlic if you want to. I'm just saving some time. This is really nice to save a little time. We're going to throw 3 of these in there, but we want to, in order to chop them, you want to just smash them. So be really careful. Have your blade tilted downward and give it a good hit. You know, when you're at work, especially on a Monday, and it's crazy, it's kind of nice to come home and be able to cook and smash your garlic right. So I want to run that through a couple times, get that chopped up really good. Okay. And then we're gonna add that to our ground beef mixture. Careful with that sharp knife. I really like using these baby bella mushrooms. They just add a nice kind of earthy flavor to the sauce. Now, I understand like true Italians. I am Italian. I'm a quarter Italian, but I am adopted and didn't grow up knowing how to do these traditional dishes and stuff, and so I kind of had to just make it on my own. But you know, simmering a sauce all day is the way to go if you can, but a lot of times I don't have the time because we're hungry and we're ready to eat. I'm going to run my knife through because I kind of like to hide the vegetables a little bit. My husband and I are the ones that love the mushrooms, so maybe your kids aren't as loving of them. All right, let's turn this guy on. Start browning. So I've got that on, probably a medium-high heat. And that'll take a good, probably 10-15 minutes for that to cook down. You want to brown it completely. Before we add more stuff. In this pot over here, I've already added the water. I'm gonna salt it. I've been using this mineral salt because I think that, I don't know, it just is healthy, and why not cook it with that? But you want enough salt in it, like that tastes like the ocean when you do your pasta, because that salts the pasta. It's really good. So we'll get that boiling while the ground beef is doing its thing over here. So here we are. We have the spices, and I use garlic powder, garlic salt. Here we have a mixture of Italian spices, and I added to that some extra oregano because I really like the flavor of oregano in there. I mean, there's basil and all of that good stuff there too. Fresh ground pepper, that mineral salt again, but you can use like sea salt. I use sea salt a lot. I like a little bit of red pepper flakes. It just gives it another layer of flavor in there, and it's not too hot because you're gonna make a lot of sauce. So, and then baking soda really helps bring down the acidity of the tomato. So what I do is I add that to the sauce, and then I throw in all the seasonings. So you want to stir in that baking soda, and that just kind of settles it down a bit. On the garlic salt, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, and black pepper, that's all about 1.5 teaspoons. And then I have a teaspoon of salt, a pinch of red pepper flakes, and probably 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. You can use any jarred sauce for this, but I like a meat sauce, and I like a traditional or a garlic basil sauce. These are just pasta sauces that are already made. This one is a crushed tomato, and usually it'll have some Italian herbs in it too. And you always want to finish it with a paste that thickens it up and gives it that good tomato taste. And that way, when you put it on your pasta, it's not going to be all runny. You know, sometimes if you don't have that paste in there, then it's like, where'd the sauce go? So after we get that brown, we'll throw these in. So that ground beef is almost done. We're getting ready to drain the fat off of it. So I thought I would go ahead and open these cans, get them prepped and ready to go. If you like diced tomatoes, I actually like them, but I don't know, sometimes they can be kind of chunky. So that's why I switched over to the crushed tomatoes. I mean, it's just all there, the flavor's all there, and you just don't have so much texture. Gotta be so careful because the heat comes out the top too, because you have your lid open at the top as well. So that's not just the fat though. I mean, actually, it's also the juices from the vegetables that you put in. But we want to get that fat out. That's good. Okay. Start emptying the sauces in there. I think we can make it here. It's pretty thick, and sometimes what I'll do, and I'll do it today, is I'll take a little bit of water and kind of swish it around in each can and jar, because there's a little bit left in there anyway. Swish it around. And then add that to the sauce. Okay, so now I'm going to stir that in a bit before we turn it back on, because we want it to simmer for a good amount of time. Well, actually, probably about 30 minutes, just till it's heated through. So I'm going to go ahead and add that baking soda. It's kind of cool, you can see a reaction when you throw it in. It foams up a little bit. We're just going to add all of our stuff in here. That was the salt. This is the garlic powder. Garlic salt. Italian seasonings with extra oregano. And the ground pepper. And our pinch of red pepper flakes. Alright, and that is what you call a rolling boil. That is ready. So be so careful when you add the pasta. It's kind of dangerous, actually. You don't want to just dump it all in. You want to just kind of gently let it go in. Okay. Alright. And then I take one of these fun guys. Pasta, whatever, spoon. I like it a little al dente. So we're gonna set this at 9. My little chicken, he's so cute. Keep stirring your pasta. See, it's starting to bend. Give it another little stir. We're just gonna let that kind of rest for a sec while we pour out our pasta. Okay, so little tip: have cold water running in your sink so it doesn't ruin your pipes. Because you're putting boiling water down the sink, so you gotta be careful. I'm gonna turn this off. Carefully take it over to the sink. I'm gonna pour it in a colander. Give it a steam. There we go. Let that drain. And I know you're probably going to say, why are you pouring that good olive oil over your pasta? I don't like to rinse the pasta, and the reason why is it makes your sauce watery. So I drizzle a little bit of olive oil over the pasta, let it soak down in, and that way it doesn't stick, really stick as it's draining and cooling a little bit. So that's my little pro tip. Now that that's done draining, we're going to take it over to our pasta bowl. I think I'm ready to go. Let's go. Let's do it. Alright. I'm not going to put all the sauce in, but look at that. Yum. Okay. This is good. So it's a good start anyway, right? Getting that sauce in. Okay, I'm going to pour a little bit more. Let's do just a little more than that. And it's okay. If you have extra sauce, freeze it for the next time. Or when you heat it up again, you might want to sauce it. You know what I mean? Okay, and we want to garnish, so we love cheese here. Sometimes I do mozzarella. A good friend of mine from high school, she always ate hers with cheddar cheese, shredded cheddar cheese. Don't discount it, it's delicious. So I might throw on a little bit later, but this is mozzarella. And then there is cause for bottled grated Parmesan cheese because it's salty, it's really salty. But you haven't lived until you hand grated your own Parmesan cheese. and eating that. It's like a nuttier, it doesn't have that funny smell or taste. It's just like, oh, it's just so good. It's been my favorite. So that's pretty much it. And then I picked a couple herbs from our garden. We have some fresh parsley, a little bit of fresh basil, and a little bit of oregano. I'm just gonna roll those up together and give them a little rough chop. Don't want to get the stems in there. Okay. Run it through again. Throw a little bit on top and you're good to go. All right, that's it. That's our spaghetti. Hope you enjoy it, you guys. Have a great dinner.